everyone, so today I'm going to be filming my long-awaited Reborn question and answer video. I actually thought about filming this video about 4 months ago and I actually posted up the video asking you guys for questions, but today I'm actually going to be sitting down and filming the video, and I am in my old filming setup area because I just feel like it would be better if I filmed over here. That way you guys can just have a white background to look at and not the rest of my room. So hopefully most of my videos will be filmed right here from now on. But I do have the questions right down here on my phone, if I can get my phone unlocked. Okay, so I do have my questions right here on my phone, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started and begin answering you guys' questions. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start from the bottom and work my way up on the questions list. So the first question that I got is from My Life as Lucy XXX, and she asked favorite type of bottles. I would say my favorite type of bottles are probably the Dollar Tree bottles, which I believe are Angel of Mine or something like that, but they have tons of bottles. They had Paw Patrol there a while back and SpongeBob and Dora, so they do have like character bottles. So yeah, those are my favorite types of bottles. I have only really used those, and I have used the Walmart bottles, but the Walmart bottles leak on me, so I don't really like those anymore because even though they have really cute designs for $1, they do leak, which is a big problem for me. American Girl Forever Productions asked, who's your favorite Reborn? And I would say it would have to be Melody and Madison. They're actually over there on my bed. So, yeah, I probably should have brought them over here and showed them to you guys, but I just didn't. So, yeah, they are my favorite Reborns. I love their size, and I love their hair and their skin tone and everything, so they are, I would say, probably, like, my dream Reborn dolls. Natalie's Doll Life asked, why do you like Reborns? And I actually like Reborns because I already like dolls. I like all kinds of dolls, but I like that they're realistic, so it's kind of like a step up from just, like, not saying that if you still play with like baby dolls or Barbies or anything like that's bad, because I know that a lot of people like those, but I kind of never have been a Barbie fan, and before I got into Reborns I had just had all my focuses on American Girl dolls. So I like Reborns because of their realism, their size. They're really realistic, but they still give me the feeling of being able to play with a doll, which I like. And I like how they're heavier than regular dolls, so I like their realistic feel, so that's why I like Reborns. Natalie's Doll Life, again, asked, out of all your Reborns, which is your favorite, which is, again, Melody and Madison, but I'm just trying to include everybody's question in the video. Charlotte Hutchinson asked, how much were they, or how much was it, like my Reborns? I'm assuming. So, I actually ended up spending about like $120 on all the supplies that I needed to make Melody and Madison. And Julia, I would say I probably spent like $70 or $80 on the supplies. And Bailey, I spent about maybe like $50 on the supplies, and my doll that I just recently sold, Lexi, I spent about like $40 on her supplies. So it just depends on the doll and what kind of sales Bountiful Baby has at the time that I order the kit. Amai, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Amai Pinder asked, what do you do off camera with your Reborns? Off camera, I mainly just cuddle them. Like sometimes if I'm like watching YouTube videos or just sitting in my bed watching TV, then I'll cuddle them and hold them, and I'll change their clothes. I don't really like give them bottles or pacifiers or play with toys. They do have magnetic pacifiers, but I just don't really give them pacifiers. I like the way they look without a pacifier. So I'm not really a big like bottle or pacifier or toy collector as far as like toys for the Reborns, like baby toys. So really, like sometimes we'll play with the baby toys, or I'll just cuddle them or change them, but I don't really do too much feeding and stuff off camera. I do it sometimes, but it's just not my favorite thing to do with them. Gianna and Belly's channel asked, if you could feed a Reborn like a baby alive, basically except a real baby, how would you feed it? The same or differently? If differently, then how so? Sorry, this was a long question. LOL, I love you so much. I love you too. Anyway, so if I could feed a Reborn, you can just seal the bottle with the like clear silicone, or there are other ways you can seal the bottle, like with plastic wrap, or there's just tons of different ways you can seal a bottle. But I just use the No Knees No Hoe bottle nipples, and I'll leave the website down below, and I'll also put it across the screen here. I always get asked where do I get the little squishy silicone bottle nipples from, and I order them from that website because they do not have a hole at the top, so I don't have to seal the bottle, and I can just put it on whatever bottle I want. So I just have quite a few of those. So that's how you feed a Reborn like a baby alive, unless you have like another doll that can like, or you have a silicone that's like drinking wet or something, that's how you would feed them. Everything Liza Sumter asked, what was your inspiration to start collecting reborns, and what is your newest one and your favorite one? By the way, can you give me a shout out in your video if you use this question? Love your channel, by the way. Thank you for subscribing and watching my videos, and here's your shout out. Inspiration came from watching other people's YouTube videos and how they collected their dolls and how realistic they were. Before YouTube, I had no idea what a reborn even was. I think I actually came across reborns when I was in maybe the 10th grade, like the end of my 10th grade year or 10th grade over the summer, and I started to kind of get interested in reborning and the reborn hobby, and I really got into it at like the beginning of 11th grade, which is when I was kind of looking at kits. I found Bountiful Baby, I was kind of going through all of that, and I ended up making my first reborn after that. So that was my inspiration to start collecting reborns. I was just really inspired by the hobby and how many people there actually were in it. The only thing that I would say that I did run across when I first kind of found out about the reborn community is that from what I've seen, there aren't a lot of people my age who have reborns, because they are a work of art and they are quite expensive. A lot of adults have them, but I don't really see like any teenagers who have them. They're like either like kids, well, I'm still a kid, but it's just like people who are like maybe like 10, 11, 12, 13, and then adults. So I don't really see like anybody who's in like my age range from like maybe 15 to like 18. I don't really see anybody who's in my age range who has reborn dolls, honestly. I've like found a few people, but not really. American Girl Forever Productions also asked, can you reborn with acrylic paints? Which you totally can. I reborn with acrylic paints. All of my babies are done with acrylic paints. If you guys would like to see a video on my techniques for making the acrylic paint stick and just getting a great or, you know, decent reborn, I guess, with acrylic paints, then do not forget to leave me a comment down below, and I'll be sure to get to that video whenever. I do have quite a few videos on my list to make, but I really just wanted to get this one out because the questions have been up for 4 months, which is really a long time. Okay. My Love is Lucy XXX also asked, I'm getting a reborn soon and I have no clue what I'm doing. Help, any advice? So my advice for you getting a reborn soon is just to really take care of it, and you probably already have it by now, but just, you know, really take care of your reborn. Treat it with care, don't throw it around, because reborns are a work of art and they are quite expensive if you get them from artists. And even if you make them yourself, they're quite expensive. Like, nobody wants to spend $100 on all the supplies only to not have, you know, not take care of the reborn and it ends up getting damaged and so on and so forth. So just really take good care of it, and honestly, like, just play with your reborn how you like to play with your reborn. I'm personally not into like bottles and pacifiers and toys and all of that. I just like having the dolls. I am into buying clothes for them and like accessories, like Melody, I like hair bows and earrings and stuff for her, but I'm personally just not really into like the bottle and pacifier type collecting thing. I'm just not really into that. Like, I do like them, but I just don't collect them as much as I know other people do. So getting a reborn, just play with them how you want to play with them, but just be really careful and gentle with them. Natalie's Doll Life also asked about how I found about reborns, which is the same from before. I found them through YouTube. Nadia Torrijos asked, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I cannot roll my tongue, so sorry. Can you please do another reborn video, like all their clothes, toys, their cribs? I love you so much. Love you too. Anyway, I will be doing that video hopefully sometime soon. So yeah, if you guys want to see like a clothing collection or like a toy collection, then let me know. We don't have a lot of toys for sure, and they don't have a crib yet, but I do have quite a few clothes for both of them. So maybe I'll film that video after this one and it'll be up soon. Sarah's World asks, where can I get reborns from? Really, you just have to find artists. There are a lot of artists out here on YouTube that make videos about their dolls that they make. Honestly, a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube that collect actually make dolls as well, so maybe you can contact them and see if they'll make you a doll. There are tons of reborn artists on Instagram, Facebook, and really I've only really seen them on Instagram and Facebook because I'm not really on Twitter or Tumblr or anything like that. But yeah, mainly Instagram and Facebook are two really great places to find reborn artists at. You can also of course find them on YouTube and just searching through the internet. Also just kind of go on other people's reborn videos when they say like box opening. They usually will give out the artist name that they got their doll from, and there are just so many reborn artists out there. So that's really how you can find reborn artists to make your reborn, but it has to be from an artist. Reborns are also sold on eBay and stuff, so if you want to get a reborn, you may want to look on eBay and maybe even Etsy, but eBay is probably better because they have a lot more listings. But just be careful when going on eBay, make sure that they're legit and that the price is what you're interested in. But they do have a lot of reborns on eBay. Sometimes I'll just go scrolling through eBay, and sometimes I'll get inspiration for my dolls and stuff like that just by looking at other people's work on eBay. So those are the places that I would suggest finding reborns. Amai Pinder, the same person, asks, what's your favorite bonding time you had with your reborns? My favorite bonding time would have to be, I would say cuddling with them, and just holding them is a really, really good bonding experience. And also changing them for me is like a big part of their, me bonding with them. I know, again, some people like to give them bottles and give them pacifiers and feed them and stuff, and that can be bonding for other people. So there are many different ways to bond with reborns, but for me, I like to change their clothes and cuddle with them. That's my favorite bonding time. And sometimes just like dusting them off and stuff like that is a good bonding time with them. Sarah Clark asked, does your reborn take magnetic pacifiers? And yes, my reborns do. Darwin Benitez asked, how long did it take you to make a reborn? And it took me, I would say for Julia, it probably took me a week because it was my first reborn. And then Melody and Madison took me a week again, but I was taking a lot of breaks in between because at the time that I made them, I had a summer job. So I had to take breaks because I had to go to work in the morning, and then when I would get back, I would have other stuff to do. So it did take me about a week to make them with breaks. But if you want to get a good estimate, I would say about 3 or 4 days is a good time to actually paint them, and then maybe give them a day to set, and then the next day when you get up, you can put them together. So I would say it's still going to come out to about 5 or 6 days to make a reborn for me, but that's just how long it took me. My Life is Lucy XXX also asked, what age were you when you started to be interested in reborn? I would say at the time I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 15? I don't think I was, because I was not 16 yet. I must have been, I was like 14 or 15, and I really started to get interested in them when I was 15, but I probably found out about them when I was 14. American Girl Forever Productions also asks, are you going to get a silicone baby? I'm not really sure yet, but at this time, no, I am not. Rachel Sophia asks, what is your inspiration for getting your babies reborn? Or reborn? I don't know what you mean by that question. If you're asking me why I started making reborns, I did not have enough money to purchase my own at the time. I was going through eBay and just looking at different artists' work, and they were quite expensive. All of the ones that I saw were like over $200, $300, and I did not have that money at the time, so I decided to try my hand at making my own reborn doll, and that's how Julia came. Charlotte Hutchinson also asks, is it cheap? If yes, then answer this question. Where did you get it? I want one. You definitely just, again, before, like I said about reborn artists, you might just want to search on eBay and things like that, and that's how you get a reborn. So yeah. Lulu's Doll Videos asks, do you go in stores with your newborn? Or I guess they mean reborn. I actually don't go in stores with my reborn. Yeah, I just don't. Because every time I go out to the store, it's with my parents, so I don't take them in the store with me. I've never actually taken them out to the store. I have taken them outside. I've taken Julia to the park and stuff before, but I've never actually, like, taken them inside of a store. Natalie's Doll Life asked, how do you pick your baby names? I just think of the names off of the top of my head. I don't really actually, like ponder on it too much. Like, just whatever name comes to mind, that's the name that I give my dolls. I did actually have to research Madison's name because I was looking for boy names that start with M, and that was the one that I found because I didn't want anything like Matthew or anything like that, so I just came up with that one. Ray the Bay asks, when did you start reborning or painting babies? I started reborning in March of this, well, it's last year now. I have to like get adjusted to the fact that it is 2017. I promise you I'm going to continue to write 2016 on my papers for a good 2 months. Like, I'm gonna have to get adjusted to the fact that it's actually 2017. I cannot believe it, but March of 2016. So that is when I started reborning babies. Last question. Claire Loves Reborns, which is from Claire Loves Reborns. Okay. When did you start reborning? How did you get into reborns? Okay, I'm not even gonna read all the questions, I'm sorry. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put the whole big chunk of the comment on the screen with the rest of them, and you guys can read them as I move along. So the first question. I started reborning in March of 2016. How did you get into reborns? From YouTube, as I stated before. How do your parents feel about them? My parents are pretty accepting of my dolls. They don't really say anything about it. So yeah, they haven't told me like, oh, like it's time to stop playing with them or anything like that. Like, they've never said anything like that to me. So my parents are pretty accepting of my reborns. I hear that a lot of you guys say that your parents are not accepting of your reborns, and I'm really, really sorry about that, because I know that can be really, really tough if your parents are not accepting of your reborns, because it is a hobby that you like to do. So I know that it can be really, really difficult if you want to start collecting dolls or reborns and your parents say that you're too old, but my parents have never ever told me that, and I'm really, really thankful for that. So they pretty much just let me be myself, and I don't really have to worry about that. So yeah, my parents are pretty accepting of my reborn dolls. Which is your favorite? Okay, that's probably okay. Which is your favorite? My favorite reborn baby dolls are Melody and Madison. Any advice on starting a YouTube channel? I have started one 3 weeks ago, I guess. Congratulations on starting your channel, first of all. But my advice is just to try to be yourself on camera, and don't try to like replicate anybody or be anybody else. Just try to be yourself, and everything will turn out fine for you if you are just being yourself. So just don't really worry about anything else. Just do what you like to do on your channel. Be yourself. Of course, I know that camera and editing skills are also really, really important, but to be honest, when you're just starting out, you're probably not concerned about that. But yeah, so just make sure that you be yourself and you don't really worry about what other people have to say about your channel. Just be you, do what you want on your channel. That's my advice for starting a channel. And don't worry about your subscribers if you start out with like 20, because when I first started my channel in 2013, which is when I actually started like recording videos and actually making quality videos, I made like a couple videos before then, but when I actually started making like quality videos, it was 2013, and I did not have many subscribers when I started out. I think I probably had like 100 subscribers or something like that. So just don't worry about your subscriber count when you first start out. Just make sure that you're focused on your channel, what you like to do, and your subscribers will grow. What is your favorite type of reborn? So, my favorite type of reborn, the options that she gave are silicone, full vinyl, or cloth body. I've actually never had a silicone or a full vinyl, but I have had cloth body, and I will say that I do like cloth body because that's all that I've had, but I do like full limb reborn dolls. So I've decided that from now on in my channel, as far as for the baby size, I'm not going to get any more reborn dolls that do not have full limbs, because it's just kind of frustrating when you try to dress them in certain things. You always have to put like a long sleeve shirt underneath or a onesie underneath or something like that. So I really, really like the versatility that full limb reborn dolls give me, because I can put them in pretty much anything and they look great because none of their cloth is showing. So I like full limb cloth body reborn dolls. Would you rather have 6 reborns or 2 silicones? Oh my goodness, this is kind of like a difficult question. So if I did not have Melody and Madison, like I never had them, never made them, then I would say 2 silicones. But if I currently had them, I would rather just get 4 more reborns, if that makes sense. So that's my answer to your question. I would rather get the 2 silicones if I did not have them, because the silicone dolls are more expensive and they're just higher quality. And they're really, really cool because you can bathe them, and some of them are drinking wet and all of that. So I would probably say that if I did not have them, then 2 silicones. So that's my answer to that question. How many reborns do you want? And it's okay if it's a long question. She said, sorry, it's okay. I don't really know that yet. I am really, really happy with having Melody and Madison as my primary 2 reborn dolls, and I do want to get a toddler reborn and a child reborn at some point in the future, but that's like a long way off from now, because I still don't know if I'm going to be commuting back and forth to school or staying at home or going away to school, like living on a dorm and all of that. Obviously, if I live in a dorm, then that can't happen. I can't have my reborns and all of that. But if I end up staying at home and I end up commuting, then there's a possibility that I could get a toddler or a child reborn doll. So my goals for the future are to definitely get a toddler and a child reborn doll. So in total, I would like to have 4 reborn dolls at this time. That's what I want. I only have 2 right now that I'm actually, playing with, but I would like to have 4. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this question and answer video. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, then let me know down in the comments. I may be doing another one, like a general one, where you guys can just ask me questions about myself or whatever, because I'd be interested in answering questions like that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.